What's up YouTube, this is Shuttle Boy and I'm back with yet another video. Today's video, I finally got a new sneaker pickup in today for you guys, so let's get right into it. Alright, so as you can see, I already unpacked it from the box itself, the shipping box. And that's because I didn't make a big deal out of this on any of my social media, but my birthday was later in October. So I had to treat myself with some gifts, and some friends gave me gifts as well, and I appreciate that, friends and family. But yeah, this was a time that, I mean, obviously I made a video on this that I haven't really been buying many sneakers or clothing or golfing or anything in general. I really haven't been buying that much at all. My spending has just been down, and a lot of people in the comments of that video said theirs have been down as well. But for my birthday, regardless of what my patterns and tendencies have been as of late, I wanted to treat myself and get something pretty cool. So that's what this is, and I'm pretty excited to show this with you guys. Show the box first, per usual. Nothing too crazy, but when you get into the details of it, I think it's pretty cool. It's just a cardboard looking box, but if you actually look at the darker part, it has a little bit of a texture to it, and you can feel it. It does have a difference from the two different colors, and then you have this little taped line that kind of separates it, and it says Nike 2020 2021 Just Do It BBZ 330. And if you know anything about this, you probably already know what shoe this is. My overall thoughts on the box, very cool. Simple box. If you know what shoe this is, usually this line of shoes usually comes with a drawer box, and that is what I always known about these shoes. So I'm a little disappointed it didn't come with a drawer box, because I love the drawer boxes. But this cool lid here, where you can actually see over here, it's shaped different. And I do like that. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So they still put some thought into it. It's just not like my favorite kind of box, but I'm glad they did something. So enough talking about the box. Let's open these together, guys. I've already seen these actually, but ooh, bang, bang. Oof. This is the Nike Lebron 18 Lakers colorway. So let's get right into this sneaker, guys. Alright, so I had to do a quick little rearrangement now that the cat's out of the bag. But as you can see, I'm a pretty big LeBron fan. I own quite a few of the shoes. That's not even all of them right there. I also have ones like the LeBron 12 Low, LeBron Palmer. And I have one of my latest pickups a long while back. One of my last pickups was the LeBron 7 Fairfax. So I'm a pretty big LeBron fan. My family is all from Ohio. I really like Ohio sports in general and Illinois sports. But yeah, one of my favorite teams in sports in general is the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I am a pretty big LeBron fan. I am upset he left both times, but it's whatever. But yeah, I've collected a lot of the shoes over the years here, and I really like them. I think some of the early models are a lot better than some of the newer ones, but I was pretty excited to see what the LeBron 18 was looking like, and I was pretty pleased with it. I always was kind of on the fence about getting a pair of the LeBron 17s. When I went to Nike Town in Chicago, it was around the All-Star Weekend time period, and they still had the Monstars, LeBron 17, and I really did like that shoe. They also had the 17 Low, the Toon Squad, and I liked those too, but I still couldn't pull the trigger on them, especially because I believe the price was $225 for those All-Star renditions. And I just didn't feel very comfortable with paying that much when I could just get the Fairfax LeBron 7 instead. So I ended up getting that. And never really got around to getting the 17. And part of that is being, I just didn't see an instance where I could see myself wearing those casually. Maybe the All-Star pair. I think the lows are pretty easy to wear casually. But the shape of the 17 is just not really made for pants really all that well. And I'm definitely not going to be wearing them in shorts. But I think this one kind of takes that away and kind of makes its own path that looks similar to the 17. But the little tweaks and changes that they did make to this model make it a lot more casual friendly, in my opinion. As you can tell, this model is just a lot more lower cut, and that always helps a ton with basketball sneakers in general. Some of them work out pretty well. I would say the Lebron 9 works out pretty well in its favor casually with the way it's shaped, and same with the Lebron 11 behind me, and the 12 semi too. But one model that worked out really well in more recent years that I think sold really well and just people liked a lot more was the LeBron 14 right here. And the reason being is because the LeBron 13 was super high cut. Everybody hated that design. That design was super ugly. But the LeBron 14 actually opts for kind of a lower cut design here. It's still kind of a high in a weird sense, but it cuts down really close to your ankle. Thus making it a lot easier to wear, and also kind of has that booty fit, so it's not the hardest shoe to wear casually, honestly. It's not a shoe you can really tuck your pants inside of this, but kind of over, and it looks good. I think it looks good. But you can kind of tuck it behind the tongue, but it's going to be hard to do that if you want to do it on the back and make it look normal. But I really liked this shoe a lot. This is the red carpet colorway. I really like the LeBron 14. But I haven't copped any LeBrons since that. I believe that came out, I mean, obviously 4 years ago. I was still in high school when that shoe came out, which is crazy to think. And to think that my latest LeBron model now is, I had to wait till now to cop one. I did like the 15, but it was nothing special. There's a lot of love for that shoe, but I don't have love like that for it. It's just kind of bland to me, but I do kind of wish I picked up a pair. Then there was the LeBron 16, which was his first shoe with the Lakers, and I thought that one was actually pretty cool. I never ended up picking up a pair because the colorways, they just didn't really make all that many good colorways, but the model itself was cool. And then, like I said, the 17 just wasn't really my cup of tea, but the 18 here is. And I really wanted to jump on this colorway in particular. They already released a colorway that was kind of a multi-color one, that it's one of those colorways they call the James Gang for his family. And I've never really been a fan of any of those colorways, and this one in particular looked really bad. I just hate that multicolor sole they did. But this one, as soon as I saw it, I knew this is the one I want to cop because it really falls into that vintage what happened with basketball signature sneakers back in the day, where there would be a black and white colorway, there'd be a white and black colorway maybe, and then there's usually a team colorway, and this is that team colorway that's very subtle, but it definitely reps the team. Kind of like with Air Jordans, how there would be a black and red colorway, that's Bulls colors, but that's not really anything flashy. Well, this is that black and purple, and I really like that. It looks really nice. I'm not a big Lakers fan or anything. I do like the Lakers, and I did root for them this year. I don't know. I'm not a massive fan of them, but I do really like the simplicity of this. This reminds me, I know this is a bit of a stretch, but this reminds me of the Concords with Jordan being the Jordan 11. Obviously, the colorway isn't exactly the same how they blocked it, but it has white, black, and it has that Concord looking color of purple. And I really just like that color scheme a lot. I think it looks really nice. And yeah, I'm just really feeling these shoes, guys. Some of the details on it, the whole upper is a knit, and it looks very similar to the 17 the more you think about it and compare them. It has a very similar area with the eyelets as well with that shoe. Something that's really cool but also kind of sucks about this shoe is the tongue. The tongue is just really paper thin and just doesn't flex very well, which is really annoying to me. They put these little air bubbles on here that are very gimmicky, but I think they're kind of cool. You actually see through them. Right now you're seeing like whitish because of this cardboard insert which is in here, but if I take that out, it looks a little bit darker now, and that's because it is see-through. Whatever socks you wear, you will see that through here, which could be something really cool or something really stupid. I'm not a big fan of the see-through thing, but for how limited this is, I don't really care too much about it. But the tongue is just too razor thin and too rigid. I don't really like that. I think it looks cool because they put the cool little logos of his past in these. but that's as cool as it really gets there. I don't really like how rigid it is. The really cool thing for me in the sneaker is all in the back here. It has a heel counter. It's really beefy. They actually put the swoosh on the medial side of the heel counter. But if you look at that back part right here, just kind of stare at that part, that is referencing a shoe of his past. One of my favorite LeBron models, and I don't even own a pair of these, but it's one that I still really want to get. And that is the first LeBron, the Nike Air Zoom generation. It looks very similar to that, and I love that. I really love that they did that to this sneaker. Super sweet part that just makes it for this shoe. They also have the LeBron logo on the back of the heel counter, which looks really slick. I love that little texture they did to it as well. And just moving throughout the shoe, we have a gold tiny swoosh on the toe. Love a little tiny swoosh like that. The gold looks really nice on here. Also, just because of the knit material here, they were able to weave in little dots and specks of purple. Just looks really nice. That actually does a lot to the sneaker, those little specks. I really like that. And one of the last things we can talk about here is the cushion and the midsole here. Now, I don't know what this material is. It just feels kind of like a standard like Cushlon foam. But they actually put Max Air right here, all the way around, you can see. And then actually, you can see in this window here, you see a zoom insert, and that's because the Max Air is just kind of a tube that goes all the way around the edge. Not inside. It always has, you have to put a foam in there. Well, what they actually did is they make it go all the way around that Max Air, and what's actually inserted inside that gap is Zoom Air. And I don't believe that's ever been done before. It's actually full length, so if you see down here below, you can see these little white specks in these windows, and that's the Zoom Air, which goes all the way to the toe. So full length Zoom Air, and then it has the Max Air around it. It feels pretty cushy. This shoe does feel really cushy. And really comfortable. As far as the fit is concerned with the sneaker, I recommend going true to size. Now, with the LeBron 9, I actually wore a size 12 and that fit really well, but that's a very snug sneaker. I would say with all my Jordans, my true size I always wear is 11.5, and I went 11.5 in this, and it fit pretty much perfect. Lengthwise, it fits exactly how I would like it, but I will say if you're wide foot, you probably want to go up half a size because this knit is actually really tight, and I wasn't really liking particularly how it felt by the toe. It was very close to the toe and felt tight, and at first I would say it made me feel like I wanted to go up half a size, though the length is there, so I know this is how they wanted it to fit. And I'm sure this, right now, this knit is just not as flexible as it should be. So I can tell that after wearing this for a while, this will loosen up a ton, and then you'll be able to tighten it up even more with the laces. So I recommend going just true to size to what you get typically in your Nikes or Jordan, because that's what I got, and it fit well. But that's pretty much going to conclude the video, guys. Please let me know down below what you think of these sneakers. I'm really happy to get these, just a little gift for myself for my birthday. And yeah, I'm really happy to get these because I have a lot of LeBron sneakers. I really like LeBron, and I always want to get the newer ones, but I just never get around to it. So I thought, what better way to do it now? Because back in the day, little story time here, when the LeBron 11 launched, I actually got the launch colorway for my birthday when I was a kid. I went to Nike Town and everything and got it, and I was super excited. One of my favorite birthdays I ever had. So really fun to get one of the first LeBron 18s as well. But that's going to conclude the video, guys. Please hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already for more golf weight, more sneakers, more clothing, more Shuttle Boy. And this is Shuttle Boy, guys, and I'm out, guys. Peace.